Hello everyone, Christina here. Welcome to day 2 of the holiday card series for 2023. Today I'm going to be making this very floral, with lots of poinsettias on it, card using some dies from Concord and Ninth. The die set is the Festive Corner Cuts dies, and it comes with a couple of different sentiments, including the shadow for the sentiments, a corner piece, and then all of the elements to create these poinsettias and also like a little pine sprig. So I'm going to start by taking that large corner piece, and it looks really, really neat as shown on the example of the back of the die set where it's just used on one corner. But I thought it would be really cool to have it cut on both corners. And then there would be this sort of diagonal center strip going down across the card. I thought it would look really neat, and it would give me the opportunity to adhere a bunch of these flowers going from the top corner down to the bottom corner. It have a lot of diagonal movement, and it would look really, really neat. So I cut out this corner die 2 times out of this A2 size cardstock. For the flowers and leaves, I'm going to be using 6 different colors of Concord and Ninth cardstock. I've got Stardust, Artichoke, Avocado, Sorbet, Grapefruit, and Nectar. So basically 3 shades of a coral, a light, medium, and dark, 2 shades of green, and then I've got sort of like this goldish color, which I'll cut all the pieces out, but in the end they'll be covered up by gold pearls. So I cut out a bunch of the smaller poinsettia dies and the larger one, and then out of the coral shades. And then I looked at the back of the die example, and they had 2 layers of red for their poinsettias, plus a layer of green on the bottom for the leaves. So I decided to do the same. So after I cut all those coral pieces, then I started cutting all the green. Now I did stop about midway through all this die cutting just to put the die cuts onto my background to kind of see how many I needed to kind of fill this space. And I determined that I needed 3 of the large poinsettias, and then I needed 5 of the smaller poinsettias. I also decided as I was die cutting that instead of having the same color of cardstock for both layers of each flower, that I would pair it up with a light and dark shade. So I mixed and matched all of those colors, and then I cut the greens in both dark and the light shade for the leaf layers on the back of each one of these flower sets. So after I had everything die cut, which believe me, it took a very long time to die cut all of this. I think I was die cutting for over an hour, just die cutting. But I think in the end, all of these layers are worth it. So when I adhered these flowers together, I put a little tiny dot of glue in the center of the darker shade. I put the lighter flower on top, and then I put some adhesive on the green leaf layer and put everything all together all at once. So I've got 3 layers of those poinsettia flower die cuts. And then I'm going to put a little tiny dot of glue right in the center of the flowers, and I'll put the centerpiece on there as well. As I was die cutting or adhering all of the die cuts together, I did fluff up the petals of each one of these just to give it a little bit more dimension. So like I said, I'm going to put a little dot of glue right in the center, and then I'm going to put these little center star shapes right in the middle. So there's a large star shape for the large flowers and a little tiny star shape for the smaller flowers. And as I finished each one of these, I just placed it back on top of my background. I haven't adhered these yet, I just placed them. And speaking of, I didn't want to lose how I had these arranged on my background. So I went ahead and grabbed my phone and took a quick picture so that I could reference back to it when I am ready to adhere these. I decided that white strip right down the center of my background needed a little bit of shine on it, so I cut a thin strip of gold cardstock. This is matte gold cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, and I adhered that directly over this center area. This is a 1/2 inch wide strip of gold cardstock, and it also kind of mimics a present to me. It looks like gift wrap, so it goes really well with the holiday theme here. So I'm going to adhere that down, and then I use some scissors to cut off whatever was hanging off the sides. And then I started to assemble everything on my card base. I have a pre-cut card base here, folded and ready to go. And then I have this fairy dust glitter paper from Lawn Fawn. It's a very white, very fine glitter paper. It doesn't shed at all, so it's perfect for this. And I put that down directly onto my card base. This is going to give a nice little subtle shine on the underside of this die cut piece here. I then used very thin strips of foam tape. This is foam from Waffle Flower. And I put the foam tape around the outer edge and also down that center area. And then I put everything inside of my MISTI just so I could put it up to that corner and get everything lined up as I adhere it. So I'm going to place that right over the top of that glitter background. And then I'm going to start assembling all of my flowers right on top. So remember how I took that picture with my phone? I'm going to put that off to the side for reference, and then I can place my flowers back onto my card and position them just right. I am not gluing them down at this point. I just want to get them on there in the right position to make sure that I have room for all of the flowers that I've prepared. So I did have to kind of slide everything up and move it up so I could fit it. For my greeting, I used the Noel die set or dies from the die set, and I cut the word from matte gold cardstock and then the background or shadow area out of white cardstock. At this point, I have not put the green kind of sprigs of pine onto my design yet. I'm going to do that here in just a minute. So I had adhered all of the flowers first. I wanted to get these down onto the card, and then I was going to fill in all of the gaps with those pine sprigs. So I'm just adhering these. I want to get a nice spread of these flowers going right across the center area of the card. And I want it to kind of come out from that gold border that's going diagonal across the card. I also put quite a bit of glue on the green leaf layer on these flowers because this is the way everything's going to adhere directly to the card. So then I put all of these little green sprigs in, and I just lifted up the flowers and slid these die cuts underneath. And I worked around both sides of the card, the top and bottom, to the side of these flowers, and kind of filled in some of those gaps. And adding these sprigs of the pine needles or whatever really fills out that area. As far as the greeting goes, I put quite a bit of glue all over the back of this die cut. And then I'm going to very carefully just place it on top of the flowers. I'm not going to press it down because I don't want it to completely flatten all the flowers. I want them to still sort of be fluffed up. So I'm just going to hold it with my fingertips so that wherever that glue comes in contact with the die cut, it kind of adheres to it. And then I decided that I didn't like the centers of those flowers. It needed a little more shine. So I grabbed these gold pearls that have adhesive on the back. These are from Craft Consortium. And I put those directly in the center of the flowers. I used the largest size and also one of the more medium sizes for the smaller flowers. And just adding these little bits of shine just really finish off the card. So here is the finished card for today. I love those little bits of gold and all the different tones of this coral shade. I think it's a very non-traditional Christmas card using those kind of pinks and coral shades, but I absolutely love it. I think it turned out beautiful. There's quite a bit of dimension on this card. Now, when it comes to mailing a card like this, there's a lot of flowers kind of fluffed up, and I think if they were to get flattened in the mail, I wouldn't like it quite as much. So I might save this card and give it to a family or friend in person this year. Thanks so much for watching today. I will be back tomorrow. We're going to be live doing mail call for October. So check back for that. I think I'm going to do it probably at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.